We're doing a take on the Olive Garden Tuscan soup. There are lots of different copycat recipes out there, but we found what we like, and we make this quite often in the winter time. With summer approaching, or even spring, we won't have as many soups, but most of us like a lot of soups during the winter time. So what we started out with was 2 of the, how many ounces? These are 32 ounces of chicken stock. We've already got that in our Instapot, and I have already sauteed my sweet Italian sausage. I sauteed it and cooked my bacon that we're going to add at the end. And so doing a lot of prep work up front makes the soup really easy to make it when it goes to be served at dinner time. So in the little bit of bacon grease that I had left, I put in some garlic. If you're using a whole onion, you could saute your onion in that bacon grease as well with your garlic for, maybe 3 to 5 minutes just to get it till it's a little glassy. I am not eating onions. I can eat green onions, the tops of green onions, so that's what we'll have in our soup. So whatever is best for you, you can make adjustments to the recipe. So I'm going to add the sausage into the crock pot. It also has the garlic with it. So that's going to go right into the broth. I have also chopped up my potatoes. So I have about 4 or 5, they're not small, but they're medium potatoes. So I cut them in bite-sized pieces like this. And I'm just going to add that into my broth as well. Give it a little stir. And I'm going to add my salt and pepper. About a teaspoon each, depending on what type of broth you used. You don't want to get your broth too salty. And so we're going to just put that on slow cook in the Instapot. And that's going to cook for, until the potatoes are tender. But to tell you the truth, you could let this be on low for, probably 5 hours. And I bet your potatoes will be cooked just fine. Otherwise, you can use the instant function, and at this point when everything is already pre-cooked, you could just put it in there for probably maximum of 5 minutes on high pressure. So we have some time till dinner time, so we're just going to put that in the Instapot. I'm going to set that in there and turn it on. I just use my slow cooker cover on that one. And then I have my kale. Not everybody here likes kale. Maybe that is in your family as well. My kale is kind of sad looking because I meant to make this the other day, but you need to cut it off the stem. So you need to devein it. You don't want that stem on there. Just run your knife along the edge of that stem. Pull off what you have a little bit left on the edges and just toss that stem. So I'm going to finish that. Again, like I said, my kale is not very big, and that's fine. We don't have that many people who eat the kale. And this gets added. You can, if you don't want to add it to the pot because other people don't want to eat the kale, you can wait until you serve your food. It's not going to get as wilted as it would in the pot cooking it, but you can sprinkle it on top in small pieces, and the hot broth should cook it just a little bit. We like it that way as well. And since I'm using the green onions, I'm just going to add those into my broth right now as well. And then what we'll be adding at the end is our half and half, or cream. You can use whipping cream if you like. You can use half and half. I even have used my Fairlife milk. So, whatever milk you prefer, but you don't want to do that until about, there's 5 minutes left until dinner time. You don't want your cream to turn on you. So you add that, and then you also crumble your bacon. I have my bacon here that I've cooked till it's crispy, and I did about 5 pieces. Again, we're potato and bacon people, so you can just cut that up in small bite-sized bits. You know, I saw some recipe that uses bacon bits, but those are very salty, so I wouldn't recommend using those in your soup, but whatever you like. So these two items we're going to save till the end. I'm going to put my crock pot on high, let it cook for maybe 2.5 to 3 hours. Test my potatoes. If they're done, I'll put it on warm until it's time to eat dinner, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. Our soup is looking great. The potatoes are tender. I'm going to add my container of half and half. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to stir it while I'm putting it in. And then we're only going to cook this until it gets warm, just to warm up the milk. And I'm also going to add my crumbled bacon. I'm going to let that cook for 5 minutes also. And at this point, if everybody in your household likes kale, you could add your kale as well. We're going to save ours until the end and then just top it onto the soup mixture. So you can see that I still have some sausage grease on the top floating. It's just adding flavor. And while we were waiting for our soup to cook, Tavia and I made a pan of brownies. I know. But we want to round out our dinner with a pound of brownies. So we're going to just put some powdered sugar on those brownies. I don't have a recipe for this because it happened to be a Christmas gift, a mix. All I can tell you is it took a lot of butter and 4 eggs to make those brownies. And that's it. There's no liquid other than that in there. So we look forward to having those for dessert. What I also have cooking to serve with my soup is some breadsticks. And what I did to make the breadsticks was just use a roll of biscuit dough, rolled them out in my hand, made them long, put them on a cookie sheet, brushed them with some egg white, and then I sprinkled some garlic on there. So those are in the oven and they should be ready about the time that the soup is ready. I wanted to talk a little bit about the sausage that I used. The sausage was called Polidora. The Polidora comes in a casing. You need to take the casing off. Cut up your sausage and put it in the frying pan and brown it for about 5 to 7 minutes. So that sausage is really good. I've had a bite, so I hope you enjoy. We're going to scoop some out now. My cream has been in there getting warm. So here is my sausage soup. It looks delicious. There's some bacon, my favorite. And I'm going to put the kale on top of my soup. And I'm also going to sprinkle it with Parmesan cheese. This is freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Add a breadstick, and there you go. It's delicious. Give it a try.